FCC Director Ajit Pai is at it again. He is desperately trying to get rid of net neutrality. Don't let him tell you any different. Every time he's interviewed, he always says the same stuff. We want to have a robust conversation about it, which always means bullshit. Want a robust conversation? Yeah, you go ahead and say what you want. We're going to do what we want to do anyway. Or he always starts off every one of his interviews with, oh, we all want to maintain an internet that's neutral. But he doesn't. He wants to dismantle it. Let's take a look at this video, and afterwards we can talk about it.
So you would feel comfortable telling consumers you can trust the Comcasts, the AT&Ts, the Verizons to not do that, to not put their finger on the scale and promote their stuff at the expense of someone else's?
Not at all. I would say as a government regulator that we don't put faith in any single particular sector of the economy or particular company. We put our faith in the rule of law. And the rule of law, which includes antitrust law and consumer protection law, is faithfully administered by the federal government agencies and state agencies that are charged with executing that law.
Back when the FCC was first talking about changing these rules a few years ago, there was something like 4 million comments posted, and the overwhelming majority of those were people saying, we want net neutrality. We want to know that these protections are in place. Does that evidence not sway you that maybe these rules should not be dismantled?
Well, I certainly understand that there's a wide variety of public interest in this particular issue, but when I meet with consumers, and I've met with folks from Kalamazoo, Michigan, down to Carthage, Mississippi, from Barrow, Alaska, to Diller, Nebraska, what they tell me is that their concern is not that their internet service provider is blocking lawful traffic or doing something like that. It's that they want more competition. They want better and faster and cheaper internet.
All right, FCC Commissioner Ajit Pai, thank you very much for being here.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. Let's talk about it. Okay, so first of all, you got to keep this in the context. The two biggest donors to your politicians right now are Wall Street, investment banks, yada yada, big banks, what have you, and telecoms, big international telecommunications companies. They are ridiculous. We're talking about Time Warner, which is not Time Warner anymore. It's Spectrum, which is actually Charter Communications. Charter Communications is number 2 of the biggest telecoms. The biggest, of course, is Comcast. I hate Comcast. But, you know, I don't have a lot of love for Charter Communications either. I don't know about you people here in New York, but my bill has gone up and my service has gone down since I've gotten Spectrum. So thanks a lot, Charter Communications. You're doing a bang-up job. But that's just anecdotal. I just wanted you to have that framework to know that these are the biggest donors that are out there. Okay. Now, Ajit Pai, I've mentioned before. He used to work for Verizon as one of their big attorneys, and one of the things that he was pushing was to get rid of net neutrality, specifically this new amendment that was added back in 2015 under the Barack Obama administration, Title II, which is, it stems from a law written back in the day regards to Ma Bell. A lot of you are not going to know what Ma Bell is. I wasn't even around for Ma Bell, but it was the phone company having a monopoly. I believe it was John F. Kennedy who broke up, or he broke up the Ma Bell into the smaller groups that it eventually became, because you can't have a monopoly in this country. And that is what this argument is all about. Big telecommunications companies do not like this Title II because it does not allow them to have a monopoly. Right now, we have very few companies that run cable. Okay? All right. You have, like I said, you have Charter, you have Comcast, and Time Warner and all their little affiliates, but they are the ones that are providing the highway. And then you have people riding on the highway, which are your Googles, your Facebook, your Netflix, your Instagrams, your what have yous. those things are what are running on the internet. Now, the question, and I believe the interviewer, he asked something very specific, and I agree with him for asking that. Let's say that Netflix and Comcast are running two very similar products, and Comcast owns the highway because they got rid of Title II. Now Comcast owns the highway. What's going to stop them from slowing down Netflix and speeding up their content? I'll tell you what. Nothing. Nothing is going to stop them because they own the highway. Let that trickle down to the common man. Okay, there are a lot of people that are on YouTube, and we like YouTube because specifically it is capitalism 101. You put up your content, if it gets enough attention and you have enough subscribers and enough views, you can make money. You can monetize your videos. They put advertising on it. It's a two-way mirror. They can't see what they're putting the advertisement on, and you cannot request specific advertisement from some other company. So it's a two-way mirror. Neither one of you can see each other. Well, I don't know if that's a two-way mirror or not. You know what I mean? It's a blind process. And you, as a content provider, you are able to make money by putting up your content. Now, if Comcast or Charter Communications, Time Warner, Spectrum, if they want to slow down your content, and what I mean by that is like you're sitting there staring at your phone and you get the little circle and the circle and it's buffering and it's buffering. After about 10, 15 seconds, people have no patience for that, so they just move on to the next video. So if they slow down your video and speed up their video because they have money, they have power, and they can afford to pay the higher cost, whereas you, the one on the bottom, you and I, we cannot afford to pay that top dollar to get that high speed, so we don't get it. And people move on from your videos and start looking at other ones because it's just too hard to open your videos. That's on the provider side. As the consumer, you are not going to get to listen to dissenting views. You are only going to get the views that are sponsored by the corporate-backed people, the big mainstream media. They're going to have all the access to you to pump out what they want you to hear. You're not going to be able to get those dissenting views or the smaller voices, even though they might be yelling at you. You're not going to be able to hear them because everything takes longer to get to you because they've slowed down that content. This is the point I'm trying to make. Net neutrality, what we have right now, is internet freedom. He, Ajit Pai, is saying it's not as free as it could be. Look, they tried to do this back in 2014, 2015 under Obama, and they got a resounding answer: leave it alone. So Obama declared this, hey, look, it is what it is. It is a public utility. We're not going to mess with these regulations. This Title II, Title I and Title II are going to stay in place. He heard the people. They spoke. Now we're at it again under Trump, and he put in his new FCC chair, Ajit Pai. God, this guy is an idiot. Well, he's not an idiot. He's sneaky. He's sly. What they did is they took that old idea from 3 years ago and they repackaged it and disguised it so it's a different thing, but it's exactly the same thing. Now they're calling it, and I cannot make this up, they're calling it Restore Internet Freedoms. Listen, asshole, the internet is already free. Stop trying to say it's not free and pretend like your change is going to make it free. No, it is right now free. So his answer is, well, we need to have the light touch approach that we had back under Bill Clinton. You mean when the internet was created? The only thing that you could do on the internet at the time was, punch numbers and letters. I mean, back then it was nothing. It has developed into what it is now because it is a free market system. He is trying to put his finger on the scale for these bigger companies like Verizon. He used to work for them, big telecommunications company. Ask anybody that works for Verizon who's been on strike as an employee for Verizon because of the way they're getting screwed over. Ask Verizon customers if they're really happy. Trust me. There's a lot of people out there that don't like Verizon, but he used to work for them, so he is on their side. Don't make any bones about it. And the fact that they are calling it restore internet freedom, it just, I get so hot under the collar because it's already free. And now you're throwing your word salad out there and you're speaking with your forked tongue, talking out of both sides of your mouth. Can I throw another cliche in there, please? And you look at him and you think, okay, maybe he's telling me something that I don't know. Trust me, it's the same story they tried to tell you 3 years ago. They are not in this for your best interest. What they're saying is that why would these big companies start investing in infrastructure, meaning, like the fiber optic cable, running that to smaller rural communities when, you know what, they're not putting any money into this. We're putting all the money into it. Yeah, but they're making huge gains because there's only a few of them out there. Verizon and Cox and Comcast and, Spectrum, Time Warner, Charter Communications, these ridiculously large corporations, they are running the show. There's no getting around it. They are running the show. So wherever they snake their damn fiber optic cable, they're going to be making that money. They're just not making as much money as they want to. They want to make more. They want to make all the money. So, and just a little adjunct to this story. A couple weeks back, a week and a half back, maybe it was last week, John Oliver did his HBO special. He does a HBO show last week with John Oliver. And back in 2014, they put up the comment section to talk to the FCC about, as a common citizen to say, hey, don't mess with net neutrality. And people got on there and they made comment after comment after comment, and the public was heard. I remember I made mention to all of my friends about it. Here, go to this website, sign this, put your name down there, make your comment. Please do this because this is really important. And it worked. Now, this time around, they have given you like 5 sites to go through until you get to the final page where you can finally, make your comment and sign your name to it. And they made it especially difficult to find. Now, John Oliver did something which, I gotta give him credit for. This was genius. He got a shortcut to that page and called it gofccyourself.com. So everybody went there and made a huge stink about it and added like over 100,000 comments in just like one day. It was absolutely insane. I believe the site probably crashed too. Now, I go to it today just to check and see if the site's still there, and it says, oops, I'm sorry, this site's not here. So if you're upset with the internet, you have to be pissed off about something else because you can't comment here. So they crashed the site, and the FCC pretends like, I don't know why it's gone. I have no idea why it's gone. Don't let them fool you. They are doing everything they can to change the rules in their favor, and they're making it exceedingly difficult for you to be able to speak your mind. Speak truth to power. Hey, this is Antoinette from Transistor Rodeo. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe for more videos and content, and you could follow me on Twitter at Transistor Rodeo.